Good evening and welcome back. I'm Teddy, and you are listening to Night Talk. So I was reading an article, and that's why I started a few minutes late. I was looking at the NBC News article, of that 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee that was killed. And that was in Charlotte, North Carolina. Anyway. So I am here, and it is another night. It is 11:18. I'm looking. September the 9th. I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about tonight. Please let me know if the sound is okay. All right. I see baby Juju, Vicky Black. I am not going to be on late. I am not. I'm coming on much too late right now. And everyone knows I've been coming on, rather late. But I said in September it was going to change. I'm getting close to it, okay? But I haven't gotten there yet, right? Please be respectful in the chat, and as you come in, if you don't mind, give this broadcast a thumbs up. So what's going on with everyone today? Yeah, it's I really don't know what I want to talk about. Not that I ever always know. I could just come on and start reading comments and get ideas, or I can play music. But it's kind of late. But I'm good. I am. Just a little tired today. Not that I'm just totally wiped out. I'm just, yeah. That's why I don't want to stay on too late. I was up very early this morning and out and doing things that I needed to do. All right, so sound is good. Thanks. Angie, Kaya, Baby Juju, Vicky, all of you who are joining me tonight. Thank you. And those of you who are in the bushes. Those of you who, yes, Vicky, thank you. Oh, do I need some rest and vacation? YouTube it sucks you in, and I'm telling you, even if you're like it's noticeable. So I reached 5,000, right? I reached 5,000 and I think 2 subscribers. And then something has happened in the last couple of days. It's kind of following that systematically. Each day now is dropping. Well, I saw that pattern. I saw it, that pattern, and now I see it kind of coming. It was like, all right, I know part of it was a setup. I know it. I believe it. I just do. A big setup. Like subscribe, 10, the same person, or have people subscribe and then, just reel it back in. Yes, it's gameplay. I see it. I do. I do. Hmm. Yeah. Maybe I should focus on more on my shorts for a while because when I really want to focus on shorts, I do. I do rather well, in comparison. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. But what? It still helps the algorithm. Now, some people have this figured out to a science. I haven't studied. I have not studied this whole YouTube algorithm. So when people talk about it, especially one person that comes to mind who seems to know, at least this is what I think, did not often talk about the algorithm. Hmm. Yeah, he often talked about it. He did. Anyway, whatever secrets. But I have never stacked the deck with fake subscribers, although I've been accused of doing that. I haven't. Because if I would have, do you think that I would, tolerate what I know is a pattern of, messing with my account? Rather, I should say my numbers. Not my account, but my numbers. Yeah. So, I see it. I do. But what's hard to see is, and really fully trust, is what goes on this platform. There's just so much movement of people and stories. It's kind of like a musical chairs, depending on who's playing the music and who's trying to get a seat at one of those chairs. Yeah. Angie says, I was asleep and my little dog woke me up because we both like to listen to you. All right, your little dog. Yeah. I can, and I've been told, when I talk, some people say, oh, you put me to sleep. And that's all right. If my voice is that relaxing and soothing, that is the, when I started my YouTube, my voice has not really changed. I'm getting older, but for the most part, because I've listened to some of my videos, I was listening earlier, looking for NightTalk and actually Unwind with Teddy After Dark, because there was a period where it was just music, lots and lots of music, and it was relaxing. So now that I've created so many videos that are just like, relaxing music, it's helpful to me as well because I can just put it on and yeah. Some of the things that I talked about, though, and some of the people that were in the chats, I I see a lot of trolls. All right. So I was looking at a period between the end of 2021 and around March. I was just kind of looking through those videos. Yeah. The first beef that I had after Tales, and when I say Tales, and yeah, I'm just going to touch on it just to establish, because everyone knew about that in 2021 and the strikes. It was at the very beginning. But really, it wasn't until after, like around in December, that it was with trees. It was with trees. Okay. I was being trolled during my morning lives. I was. And people were taking information back to trees. And trees will admit, and I've heard her say this, that she relied on people often to bring her information without doing her own due diligence to listen to the videos. She has said that, yeah. And that's just how she I guess, did things. Yeah. And so there was someone, well, there were several people that were coming by in December of 2021, end of November, January. And it started in part because I spoke up about what happened to, during that call to Tale's grandmother. But I didn't know that there were trolls that were existing and coming and taking information back to Trees. Yeah, because Trees wasn't listening to my videos. So she had to have gotten the information from others who were in my chat. Okay. And she said some rather they were nasty things, not just about me, but about the chat and anyone who listened and followed me. I'm talking about, early on. And what I'm trying to do is, right now I'm just having a conversation. Why am I getting into the, I said I wasn't going to be on long. It's 11:32. Now I could talk about it. But one of the persons was this Angie B. Okay. And there was another individual. I don't know if she's around or not, I'm going to ask you if you see this person's avatar. It was the doll. Is she around? She used to come to my chat during that, to the bear cave during that time. That was at the end of 2021. Well, her and this Angie person one morning got into it in my chat. And there was accusation going back and forth between them, and it had to do with I'm not certain. It was, I believe Angie's had a mother and who was either ill or had passed away. It was something around that. I'd have to go back, all right? And I could see it was stirring up, that it got the attention of others. And at the time, the doll was making claims of her own about being, I'm just gonna, I have to be careful. She was making some claims of her own, about her situation. All right. I didn't know her. And I remember that this Angie person went back to Trees and said that I was talking about her mother. And of course, Trees, not knowing, but believing everything Angie said to her, while she was describing it, this Angie person, Trees went off on me like really big time because she thought that I was talking about her mother who either was ill or passed or something like that, which I would never do. I would never do that. I see that now as it was all a plan because it was false. The doll was going back and forth with this individual. As a matter of fact, I was trying to calm things down, like, what's going on? Because I believed both people. I didn't know I was being trolled. I didn't. People come in to the chat and cause chaos and confusion. Take it back, and thus the beef began. Then, of course, I see how it rolled out. It was Trees. She was at, because Daniel had come to her defense. She had to come back at me, but I didn't know. I didn't understand the dynamics of who, all the ties and all of that. I knew Trees and was, a supporter. But again, I didn't know all the details as much. In other words, you mean to tell me if I talk about trees, for example, and I'm just going to stay with that because I'm referring to 2021, all right, 2022. I didn't realize people who have alliances, then I would become a target too. Yeah, and all of these folks, because I hadn't had a beef. I think I started off by saying that. I hadn't had a beef with anyone else until then. And then it just snowballed. Mm-hmm. It really started around trees. Mm-hmm. It did. And those, those Avengers around her. That's how it started. Mm-hmm. Because I was not beefing with Danielle. She tries to roll it back to October of 2021. There was no plot. None of that. There are no videos that she can either point to, anyone can point to, in January of 2021, in February of 2021, in January and February of 2022, and then months leading up to that. I barely knew who Danielle was, because before I reached out to her, I reached out to Black Rabbit. Before I reached out to Danielle to ask about, the Halloween little spoof that I was having for my lunch and learn, I reached out to Black Rabbit because I didn't know her. But I'd seen, that she, I guess, knew her. But I didn't understand at that time because I asked her, I said, do you think that she would mind? And Black Rabbit said, well, you can email her. DM her. I have that DM. I did not understand their relationship at all. I didn't know behind the scenes that they were, working on this Monique Tobert stuff. I wasn't paying attention to that at all. I didn't. I wasn't watching in real time, like the interview with Marcella and all that. Yeah. Although I have copies of the videos, I hadn't watched much of it. I was doing my own thing. I was consistent during that time. I would come on at 9 o'clock for morning, mocha. I'd come on at noon. This was every day for lunch, for a period of time, for at least a year. For lunchtime, Teddy and the Mob, and I didn't miss, and I was on time. And then I would come back at 9 o'clock at night for, Unwind with Teddy after dark. And I did this for a long time, trying to build and establish, my little channel. And I was doing pretty good until the beef that I had with trees. And then my numbers started to tank. And then, so that was March when Trees had her, when her daughter came onto the platform. And I started rolling out those Nosy Whole Life videos. I still wasn't beefing with Danielle. I wasn't. I was doing my own thing. Did anyone ever see me in Danielle's chat? Or Black Rabbit's chat for that matter? When they were doing all of that John Yates, I wasn't paying attention to that. I wasn't voting or whatever, what was it called? Cancel John Yates. I wasn't interested, didn't know who he was, could have cared less, didn't care at all. And then April, the 4th and 5th, started, they were trolling me well before March. Okay. Danielle first came into my chat one night when I was talking about trees. I had showed this picture. Tells had this post of this, I'll just say a jumpsuit picture. I didn't show the full photo, but I did think it favored trees. I did. I did. And I went live and I just showed a portion and I put Tree's face up next to it, just part of like half and half. And I asked some questions. Danielle came into my chat and she challenged me in front of my audience. Said that's not Trees, and I didn't, I listened to her like I would anyone else. She comes to my chat, right? All right. You all right? You don't think it's her? That's fine. And kind of like shut it down. All right? Just like stop. Okay. Now this is the first time that I'm challenged by her. I mean, really? Like, what? But I didn't, no one knew what I was thinking. But I was like, okay. The next morning, Danielle made a video. She was talking about, it was called Enough is Enough. She was talking about tails, but this is the first time that she ever talked about me that I knew about in a video. And she said something about that all black women, I think it was something like that, don't look the same. And, it's like, I don't know the difference, in black women, what they look like. It was kind of, I'd have to go back to it, but it was condescending, and it was shade. I remember some of the folks that were listening to my video the night before. I won't say this content creators, because if I really started talking about it, it would cause maybe some tension with maybe another content creator. But facts are facts, because the videos are there. So if someone makes a comment, Danny really, put me in my place. They didn't say it like that. And then people started talking in Trees, on Trees platform. Okay. And things just got in motion. And then what showed up? Who showed up? Was that Tammy the Machine. April 4th, 5th. That was the beginning of the end. It was the beginning of the end. Because I never ever bowed to Danielle. Not even when it was behind the scenes, when she challenged me in the DM. It was in March. I have the DM. See, she tries to go back to that Halloween. That wasn't it. She thought I shaded her. There was another plant that was coming to my platform. And it was during the time, and, rest in peace, Joy, she would, remember. That I spoke up for Joy. Yeah. These trolls that would come to my chat, to the bear cave, they'd run back and report to Danielle. So she challenged me. She came DM me. What's this I hear? I'm like, no, wait a minute. You've never spoken to me like that before. What is this I hear? I'm like, who are you? This is my first real time. Like, who are you to come to send me a DM and say, what is this I hear about you? Like, you calling me to the carpet? You see, I didn't know. I didn't think of her as anything other than somebody just like anybody else. Like, you calling me to the carpet? Like, what's up? Like, I report to, what is this I hear? I'm like, what is this you hear? Like, what? You shading? Like, no. I'm like, and I was just responding like, Rick, this is not true, or well, I don't know. What are you talking about? That was the beginning of the end. But I also didn't know other things were happening in the background. Yeah. She was really playing the role of getting back at me for her Avengers. Yeah. Trees. Another I won't say. And because I stood up to her and questioned her, like, because if you look at my video in April, before it would have been like maybe the week of April the 25th or something like that. Trees and her came to my chat together, throwing up swords during my lunchtime. She said I called her a liar. Again, in front of the mob. I'm like, whoa, like, who are you? And I told her behind the scenes, I said, this is the second time you've done that. A second time you've come over, but this time you're calling me a liar. It's like, what? Where's your receipt? Yeah. But what she didn't know until later is that a station head video would land in my lap that would go back before that. And when I listened, she was talking about John Yates. She was talking about cups. She was talking about, hear her? She was talking about me. She was talking about tail. She was talking about a lot of folks. But that was the first time I heard her say something about me that I didn't. I'm like, I thought she said she had never said anything about me. But it was on a station head. Mm-hmm. Although in the DM, she told me, I had never said anything about you. I've never said. But the fact of the matter is, she did. Yeah. She felt some kind of way about being challenged. I think. That's my only explanation. Because most of the people were afraid of her. and shaking in their shoes. And I have never shook in my shoes, not once. Not even now. Not once. In terms of being able to speak up and say, wait a minute. No. Even though she's done some horrible things, I'm not afraid to challenge her and speak up for myself. She does not like to be challenged. Oh. And that's things were taking place behind the scenes and I didn't know. Yeah. Speaking of which, there were people that were listening on her station head in April of 2022. Names that, you could see scrolling up and down. People were talking about me too. I'm like, oh, really? I never mentioned it. Yeah. Because I didn't want to start any kind of, beef with anyone. But I could see seeds being planted. And, people talk in chats and say things. But she has this way of convincing and saying things and writing a narrative so that people will believe things, not just about me, but whoever she has as the target of the day, the week, the month, the year. It's 12 a.m. I had no idea where I was going to talk about. I've been on for 42 minutes. There's a lot that can be talked about and said because I've lived it. And anyone else who've had an experience, you can just talk about it. Yeah, I don't need videos playing. I don't need any of that. It would be nice to have it. To play the receipts. That's the one thing now that I really wish I could play at full liberty. I know right now, I think, even if I started playing Black Rabbit's videos, I think she would strike me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because right now I'm suing Danielle. I think she would. I don't know, but I think she would, so I won't. I say that to say, I wish I could play them all so that the story can be told one and done in a series. Lay them all out. Let people hear everything. Every video I have. Put it in sequence. Just a one and done. And just have it fully out there. So there's no back and forth dispute with anyone. Just let the receipts be heard. It's like almost like vindication, because there's people that think that these stories are made up. But I can't, because I don't want my channel struck. I can't, because I know my channel would be struck. Yeah. My videos have been struck when I played them for others. And Danielle has struck me for other content creators or other people that she doesn't want the truth out. One, she struck me twice. Each time when I talked about Lenora. She struck me while live, while showing receipts about her. She's got a history. And Danielle doesn't want me to talk about that. And any connections, any kind of anything that might, cause a person to pause, she blocks that. So if she struck me for that, there must be something there. I don't know how it all links up, but there's something to it. Don't know what it is, but every little breadcrumb and every reaction that Daniel has had by trying to silence the receipt says there's something there that she doesn't want others to hear or know about. And because of that, it's a control. Yeah. We'll have to talk about this another day. Another night talk. Another one. I said I could talk about something you probably remember months ago. I said if I talk about something specific, it would open up a Pandora's box. I know it would. I want resolution. I want accountability. When that is done, I can just, that'll be resolved. When that's done and the truth can be told, that will bring closure, real closure. For me. But there is a Pandora's box. And I don't want it to. I just want to deal with this. Yeah. All right. I have not looked at emails. I'm good. There's so much. Let's see. Real quick, I'll pick out a few of your comments and acknowledge everybody again, full sweeping. Hey, Jennifer, right there in the middle. At that time, we didn't know what we didn't know. Looking back, we can see a lot. Yeah, it's always hindsight, isn't it? I see a couple of comments. Some things I haven't watched, so I'm not familiar with. Oh, she's not. She said, yes, plant seeds and continue to have it repeated. It's strategic. I could ask a question, and I know it would. It probably would. It would grow legs and run by 12:30 a.m. It just would. You know. Rip running receipts, yeah. Started because both of my channels, again, were down. Oh, September of 2024. Yeah. She's really tried to get my channels completely wiped out 8 times. And if it weren't for this, you know, what's going on right now, I think she would have tried to figure out a way to strike me, you know, again, because she was striking for, you know, just anything, my avatar, just because. Yeah. Yeah, Cub says they definitely will strike you. I absolutely, I've never been struck by Black Rabbit Eye, but I absolutely think she would. Now, I absolutely, because I'm in a lawsuit. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes, Unwind with Teddy was off the air for almost 3 months, for the longest period. But it's been off the air. It's been down. Yeah, I've had other channels, but yeah. She went after both. And so this last time, you see, I removed everything from Natasha the Machine. I haven't put up anything on D for Daniel except the interrogation and videos on this platform. All private. I have, in the last years when I've created all these new videos. Mm-hmm. But I have at least, everybody knows I was making 3 videos a day. 2 and 3 videos a day. Just, different things. But inside of those videos, I don't even know. I may have played a clip or someone's voice is there. I would have to go through and try to just make sure that nothing is there. That's why it's just like a full sweep, a period of time that I just take down everything because I haven't had a chance to, go through it. If she hears her voice, 6 seconds, she will strike me. So that's all my videos are subject to that in 2023. Mm-hmm. All of those videos. All of those views gone. Mm-hmm. You can feel it in the air. Yeah. Why is your question, Polly? Oh, it's 12:30. My question is, I guess I will go for an hour, 5 more minutes. Why is her reputation so important? I can't be certain, but maybe finding out who she is, or it might be someone else that she's protecting. I don't know. Yeah. She definitely has said what she's doing is wrong, and she knows that. But she has to remain anonymous. And she's done so much. And she's hurt so many people. Yeah. She's done a lot. That's what her channel really is about. That's all it's about. It's videos inside of videos. And, doxing people, looking up information, and, doing what she does best. Yeah. She said she's a bully, and she's lived up to it. Yeah. No, they don't want that box open. Yeah, it's an attack channel. It just... Yeah. It's... Yeah. Everybody can do what they want to do. I want to break. I need resolution. Yeah. A bully that hides. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. That's it. Mm-hmm. So, I need to get my rest. And I'll catch up with folks on tomorrow. It'll be Wednesday. Well, today's Wednesday. Yeah. All right. I appreciate all of you who have joined me. But now it's time to say goodnight. Biggest bear hugs go out to all the Grizzlies. Thanks for staying up. And my moderators, I appreciate you, as always. Yeah, please hit the like on your way out. And hope you have a good night. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy.